still going to leave it Hey Auntie, because my new saying now is one monkey don't stop no show. And not that she's a monkey, but you guys understand what I mean.
Yes.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. You can't make it. Okay, maybe next time. So the topic for us the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. Technically, I am not supposed to be talking because I also represent the 50s and Sheree represents the 50s, but that's okay. We're going to switch it up because we're going to roll with the punches, right? That's going to be our topic today. One monkey don't stop the show. And I'm learning this because and Sheila might remember this, when I was back in New York and I would have people come over to my house and have, fellowships and stuff. Oh, but Sheila can't come and Sheree just canceled. All right, maybe I'll change the date. Oh, but Stacy says she can come this day. And then this one can't come. Oh, then I'm good. Oh, nope, I don't want to have a fellowship in my house. 57-year-old Lisa has thus learned, you know what? The show goes on. The show goes on. Whatever you're going to be doing, whoever's supposed to be there is going to be there and should be there. Anybody can identify with that?
Sure.
Tell me something about it.
Absolutely.
Then you still can have it.
What you say, Sheila?
I said, unless it's just you, but you can still do it.
Exactly. It's supposed to be my alone time with Jesus. Anybody else want to talk about something that maybe you would not continue to do, but then you know what, I'm going to do it any old way? Or have you grown in that area? I'm not the only one. I know this.
Okay, so I guess I'm a different breed. I just do what I need to do. I don't really care about what anybody says, and I had to grow into that by being hurt so many times. And so I'm learning not to wait for other people. If I want something done, I'm just going to get it done. If I invite somebody to something, if they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. And I'm learning not to hold a grudge. I'm learning to just say, everything happens for a reason. So it is what it is. Let me just move on with what I want. It was really, really hard because I'd be like, oh, well, they're not coming to mine. Why should I go to this? And, but I will cut a person off in a heartbeat, be like, yep, block, delete. I don't want to be bothered with you anymore. You said something that I didn't really like. You hurt me and I told you don't do it. And you did it anyway. And so but I still will block a person. I just will.
I've done that.
I just feel that if that people come in your life for a reason, they come in your life for a season, and sometimes they're not meant to be there for a long time. And so I'm learning that when you have people that say that they're your friends, but they say things that they know they wouldn't like for you to say to them. Maybe those people they may be toxic and they may not need to be in your life like that anymore.
Definitely. I'm going through that already with something, which is bananas. Sheila, you want to tap in on that?
Well, I don't have a lot of friends, so my social gatherings that I do invites is very rare. So I really don't have anything around it because I don't have a big circle of friends. I can count them on one hand, so I don't do invites really. So I don't have gatherings, so I don't have to worry about no one disappointing for showing up because I'm not inviting. So
is that possibly? Well, first off, am I on that one hand? I should be. I'm just saying.
I'm on your podcast, so I think you are.
Thank you, Sheila.
But don't get your feelings. Don't get your feelings if you wasn't on it. You obviously in my world.
On that. I'm gonna make myself an extra finger. Shoot. But do you think is that why you don't have the friends?
Why? Because I don't invite people over?
Yeah. Or no, you have your select people that you want to talk to.
No, I just never I don't bond very quickly with people. So I'm social. I'm outside. I have a lot of associates, but I don't have friends, right? What I call friends. So in other words, associates don't come in your house, at least in my opinion, right? I don't know you. I know of you, and we have a purpose for why we gather, but it's not friends. So my friends is on one hand. So, and unlike some of my friends, they move. So they're in Vegas. So, you know, if I did send an invite, you know it's gonna be a no-show. So,
But listen,
so they
while I
were
was
one
in
of
New
my
York, did
three,
we not rip and run? We
one of
ripped
my
and
three
run.
friends already gone.
But
But if you
So
had
yeah, I
something,
have
you
more
know I'd be
social
there
in
if
my
I
life.
could.
I don't have long-time friends, and that's also not because I don't want to. I'm a migrate to New York, and I'm also a migrate to many cities and states because I'm a military kid. So I didn't really stay in one place to really learn how to bond with people for long periods of time. So it's just where I'm comfortable. If I get to know people and I can go to an evening, we hang out, that's what I usually do. But to have someone say I'm going to have a gathering, people come over, no, it's mostly my children.
Mm, gotcha.
Mhm.
Stacey, I'm gonna come to you, but I meant to ask, what's your beverage choice? What does everybody have? Sheila.
I had water. I had water.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Now,
Sheila,
I have white sangria with a splash of gin.
Oh,
That
yes.
sounds nice. Refreshing.
yeah, let's do it.
Refreshing.
Hey,
Okay, we
yeah.
can do that.
Cheers.
Sheree, what do
Cheers,
you have?
Sheila.
Cheers.
Sheree, what do you have?
I have water. I would have had wine, but you know, I had a not so good doctor's report. So I'm coming off of the sugars and the carbs because I want to live a little longer for
There you
myself,
go.
my kids. So
Yeah.
it's killing me because I'm hungry. I really want that ice cream, that, but I can't have it. So
Right.
it's all good. I
You
did it to
gotta
myself.
you
I
gotta
did it to
balance it
myself.
out.
Good for
Yeah.
Well,
you.
after getting that text early, I was like, I need a drink. I need a drink. I was like, you know what? Let me drink my water because as I'm drinking water all the same. Miss Stacy, go ahead, weigh in
Lovely.
on what you was getting. What you say, honey?
Yeah, and shout out to you, Sheree, for making that decision. You know what I mean? Health is wealth.
Yes.
And it starts with small things. We get really so conditioned to the things that we like and the way. And I think that's all a part of this evolution too. As you go through 20s, 30s, 40s, it's all about change and growth.
Yes. Yep.
And I love that. And you got to take care of you. That's what comes first and foremost. So, you know, I got a little bit of a different thought when it comes to this need for people because I grew up being more of like a people pleaser and being very attached in a sense to like friends and family and wanting people to respond to me in a certain way. And kind of like what you mentioned too, Sheree, like I had to grow, you know, from beyond that. And it was a lot of disappointment. So I would make adjustments. So if somebody couldn't come at a certain time, like you know, Elisa, you were saying, okay, this time doesn't work or a date. I was constantly making adjustments to accommodate people because I wanted to make everybody happy. Like I wanted to make it work for everybody. And then as I got to be a little older, so now I'm 43, it's this evolution and growth of like, it's a separation, you know, between what I think I thought I needed and trying to please other people and versus saying, what's my intention, you know, and what's the quality of the people who are here and who are showing up. And like you said, Elisa, you know, whoever needs to be there will be there. You know, and sometimes it's best for some people to kind of fall off. I think we might force people into spaces that maybe they don't need to be in, and kind of strong arming them into that. So that's still a little bit of a challenge for me because I have certain expectations of people and I have to dial that back. Right. You know, I have to dial that back. And I think it also goes to me learning that I'm enough, you know, and that I don't need to have other people in a space or in an environment to feel valuable, to feel accepted, and to have all of that. And it's a transition, like it's a really big one. I feel like I'm constantly cutting umbilical cords and like attachments to things and to people. And it can be very scary because you go into this, well, I need them. It's like that evolutionary thing of like, we need certain things for survival, whether it's connection, relationships, companionship, or whatever that is. And so we have to learn a new way of thriving. And it's the quality, not so much the quantity. And so that's what I've been learning to focus on too, is how can I be intentional with the people who are in my life and who do show up. And I could probably get whatever I need and they can get what they need just from that. It doesn't have to be a whole group of people or a huge crowd, like Sheila was saying, don't need a lot of that, just finding the contentment in the space that you're in. So I'm still working through that. I'm a work in progress in that, but I'm very aware. I think that's another thing about being in the 40s is like it brings about a lot of awareness and opportunities for us to change, but many of us don't embrace them.
Right.
So we're either going in one direction where we choose to stay the same and not make a change or an adjustment, or we sit back and say, hey, you know what? I need to go about this a little bit different.
Since I'm an only child, I think, unfortunately, Sheila's taught me a lot through my years, all out ripping and running. Since I'm an only child, everybody's my friend because I'm an only child. I don't have any sisters or brothers, but everybody's my friend. And I will say I treat all of my friends the same, but then there are some that are, I don't want to say higher than the other, but like Sheree and I go back 40 something years. Sheila and I go back, 20, maybe 30 years or so, Sheila? But we got tight maybe in the last 15 years. But Sheila's always been my friend. Sheila's more of an acquaintance because we saw each other in church and stuff like that. But because of life, we started to get really, really tight, which is nice. Now, being here in Vegas, and I love Sheila to pieces. She drives me nuts, but love her to pieces. Being here in Vegas, there was a young lady that I was friends with in New York. And I thought coming here to Vegas, we would hook up again and be friends and da-da-da-da-da. Well, it didn't happen. And, I've been in Vegas, 6 years? And in the 6 years, I've seen her once. But I'm always the one reaching out. Hey, let's go get coffee. Hey, let's go to drinks. Hey, there's a show. And no, I can't. No, I can't. No, I don't. No. And I was like, okay. But now, see, and I should. But the only child syndrome in me, I'm still trying to restore. I'm still trying to, hey, what's up? We used to hang back in the day. Why are we not hanging now? We same age. We both married. Da-da-da-da. Now, I have reached out 3 times and say, listen, something's wrong. Something's amiss. Tell me what's happening. Sis has just ignored me. And literally, even via text. Like we got to text and I said, listen, you pick the day, the time, the location. I'll pay. No biggie. Okay, cool. I'll get back to you. That was 4 weeks ago. Now it's time to do right?
Yeah.
But again, little Lisa, dang, but I want to know what happened. Did I do something to you? And I'm still learning that portion of, you know what, just let it go. Because you're missing out, not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to her defense, you were friends when you was in New York, and that was many years ago. You were a different age and a different time. Y'all have evolved and changed. So to her defense, she may have outgrown and just moved on. So it's not really a snub to you.
Okay.
She may not feel the connection because you're going back on past experience, and she might be in the moment and say, I don't know Alyssa like I used to know Alyssa, and I have this in my life, right? So I think maybe it might not be a diss. It's just that you're not part of her circle, but you're trying to rebuild, but her brain wasn't there. Her brain is just living her life where she's at.
Gotcha.
Right? So it might not be a diss. It's just that she doesn't understand the connection. So it's not personal. She just has her associates, maybe her friends, and she don't have space and time for someone new to come into her life, even if it's somebody from the business.
Yeah.
So I can't speak for her, but sometimes we have to look and see why maybe someone's doing it. And so that way you can take off the fact that it's not personal. It's not about you doing anything to her. It's not about you not extending yourself to try to build something. Gotcha. It's just time and space, we move on, but it's never really personal. I don't think it's personal.
Okay. Right. And I was thinking, like you said, straight before you say something, to do the snip, I was going to unfollow on Facebook and remove her from my phone because I could either I am, for lack of better, I'm a cling like that, or I'm the total opposite and you're gone and out of my mind. You get put in the bucket, right? And I don't think of you, I don't see you, you don't exist anymore, kind of thing. So I'm still learning that as an adult, still learning that portion. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna still see her stuff on Facebook. She's still in my phone. She may reach out one day. She may, whatever. Cool beans. And I'll be there because I'm still going to be the Elisa that I am. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Sheree.
I was thinking, but couldn't she just say, at least I have a circle, I really don't have time. Because if she sees, her sending text messages, because I had a friend that we were good friends in high school, and we maintained contact for a while, and then her son got shot and he was in a wheelchair, and I think he was paralyzed or whatever, and we kind of lost contact. And so I was looking for her on, social media, whatever, couldn't find her. And then one day my sister, because I was in her wedding, one day my sister, they were out in, I want to say Pennsylvania, somewhere at one of the outlets, and they happened to see her. She was working at the mall. And my sister calls me. She's like, "Oh my God, I see Shalina's." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you've been looking for her. Oh my God, this is my friend. I was in her wedding. We're friends. We'll still be friends till we die, whatever. And she gave her my number. We talked, and I said, "All right, I'm gonna call you." And I called her, and she was telling me, what was going on, that, the son had gotten money, he got her a house, and she lived out here. And she had divorced her husband, and she had married her wife. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. I don't care. And then I said, all right, we're going to keep in touch. Like, I'm like, oh, we got to keep in touch. I got this friend back. And I called her, and she didn't answer the phone. I was like, okay. And I sent her a text, and I said, oh, wait a minute. And then I think I did like 2 or 3 times. And I said, oh, well, maybe she don't want to be my friend anymore. Maybe she don't want me in her life, like, okay. And so I just cut the ties. I was like, whatever, I'm not going to keep reaching out to somebody and they won't respond because I'm feeling kind of stupid that I'm reaching out. And, maybe she's, feeling away because she's gay now. I don't know. Like, well, I cut that friend off too, but I have, some,
Straight just cutting.
I don't really have a lot of friends.
But Sheree, you should never feel that language, the stupid piece, because you wanted to reach out to somebody and be friends. So that's not stupid, right? Because your intent, where you was coming from. However, the expectations of you wanting someone to respond the way you want them to respond is where we fall into our mishap. No one should have to respond the way we think. It becomes down to that ethical type of way of thinking. Just because you would do that doesn't mean I necessarily have to do that. And I'm not wrong for not wanting to do that to explain myself. We all have the right to express ourselves the way we want. It's just that we have to know that your intent was great. So you weren't stupid for reaching out, right? I used to use that language, especially when I went through a divorce. So I'm just saying that, so it's not stupid. Whatever you did with pure intent was great, but you can't put the expectation on the other party. They're allowed to respond and react the way they want. And then you have to move away because you know that you was doing what you wanted to do. It just didn't work out,
Right.
But it's not a loss because you have the memory. As soon as you said the wedding and you said whatever else you said, I can't remember, your whole body got excited. So it's a great memory. So you hold on to those good memories with her because that's where the times that you and her had fun. And that was genuine. Right now, it's just not meant to be in this space and time. But you were not stupid for doing what you did. I just don't want you to think.
I was going to say, you can't, and I'm learning this again, really being married to Gene, learning this, you can't think what the other person's thinking because you don't know. Well, maybe she thinks, like you said, oh, well, maybe because she's gay now and she don't know what to say. Maybe we don't know what she's thinking. So we have to stop ourselves of putting our thoughts in other people's mind or think we know what the other person's thinking. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah. And a word that comes to mind too is rejection. Like Elisa, you mentioned, you're either over here or over there. You're not in between so much with people. And that's because all of us want to feel safe and all of us want to feel received. So we will try to avoid rejection at all costs. And one of the things that I'm realizing as I evolve is that it's something that we allow. It's something that we internalize sometimes. And like Sheila was saying, we tend to take these things personal when that's really not the case. One of the things that I'm learning to do is evolve in my relationships and friendships, because you never know, like Sheree, that just breaks my heart to hear that her son got shot. But something might trigger her. Like sometimes when you see an old friend, they're excited, you're excited about the wedding and all these great memories, but it may trigger her to think about her past and where she is now. And it might create a sadness and pain and guilt and shame and other things may come up. So sometimes seeing old people are just reminders of the past, and it can be difficult for other people to process it. And one of the things that I've realized is that I have to learn how to be friends with people now. Because, you know, like Sheila said, when you growing up with somebody and spending a lot of time with them and all that, the relationship is one way, but then it evolves as separation comes and life starts to hit all of us, and we change, but we change outside of that relationship. And then we try to get back into the relationship and be the same that we were then, but everything has changed for everyone. And we don't really know where to step in and jump in. So I think sometimes it's like sitting back and saying like, well, how can I build a relationship with this person? If they're not answering the phone or a text message, hey, I'll just send them a card on their birthday, you know, every now and then. Or I have a friend that lives in Texas and I love her like to death. I can talk to her every day. But sometimes I do feel that resistance with her. And so whenever we like, oh, let's talk once a month or once every other month, or I'll just shoot her a text. And I have to tell myself, Stacey, like, that's enough. Let that be enough for you. You know what I mean? Because she's telling you that that's enough for her. And I had to learn to, and it's hard because I'm like, but I want more of you and you're so dope. Like, come on, you know? And God was like, the relationship has changed. Life has changed. You have to allow yourself to change and grow with it.
Stacey, I didn't say this in the beginning. I'm gonna shout you out, but you're gonna have to correct me. Now, Stacey is a life coach, right? Shout out your business, Stacey. Come on, shout it out.
So I'm a motivational speaker. Yeah. Motivational speaker. I do some light life coaching. I really love communication. So a lot of the clients that I have, I work with public speaking, doing speeches, speech writing, and things like that. But I love all things relationships because I feel like I've had experience in all of them, being single, dating, married, divorced, the whole thing, back single again. And learning a lot about myself. So yeah, I'm excited to see what God does with that. But my full-time work is in trauma. So I teach trauma-informed trainings to foster care parents out here in Las Vegas. No, we do.
I do trauma-informed training too.
What does that one stand for? Do you
well, that's
really?
in New York City. Yeah, we in the same.
I totally put that connection together on purpose, y'all. So listen, everybody's here who's supposed to be here.
That's dope. Wow, Sheila, that's so cool.
But I didn't know it was in foster care. Yeah, I work with, I train foster parents and I recruit them, but I do therapeutic training as well.
I honestly, it's teaching me to learn a lot about myself. We all got trauma. We all got stuff.
We do.
That's why y'all sound so good when y'all speak and whatnot, right? all prim and proper, makeup done, hair. I need to put my glasses on so we all got
my hair ain't done. I got my little African hair wrap on. My hair is not done.
I also wanted to say something about this group, which is funny, is we all were married. We all divorced. Yes. 2 singles, 2 married over here. So look, I like the way it all falls together. Beautiful. I'm loving the way this is falling together. Nice. All right, so back to topic, because I could get off. I could go elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't have nobody to disappoint me, so I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the person that moved to Vegas, right? I think the first year that
I covered my peace. I covered my peace. And I know real when I see real. And so I put people in categories. And so I'm the different. I don't need no one to be my friend. So some of us do, right? Even as a child, I didn't need no one to be my friend. I grew up in a big family. But the key is I didn't need, so I don't look for it, right? So I can't get rejected if I'm not looking for something. If I get a genuine friendship, I get excited because then I'm like, wow, this person really sees me. I see them. In spite of my flaws, they still want to be my friend. That's cool because I'm a lot. And I show people my flaws right away because you need to know what you're dealing with. Because you don't have to, I don't need the validation that you don't like the way I carry myself or the way I act or the way I feel, but this is who I am. So I want to always be transparent, right? That's in relationships or friendships or anything, right? Work related, whatever, because people have to know so that way now you can learn how to adjust yourself. Listen, because we have to spend time together, right? Whatever that may look like. So I don't worry about the rejection piece. I think that's what a lot of things people have hard times building friendships over, because they do feel rejected when someone doesn't react the way they want.
Mm. I like the fact that you said that, Sheila. I really, when someone does not react the way that you want, I have to, I'm again still learning this process of, like, me and Sheree, we get excited. Ah, oh, but you're not as excited as I am. What the heck? Be excited with me. Why aren't you excited with me? Kind of thing.
Yeah, let me look at the mirror and make sure I got no spinach between my teeth, right?
So silly.
Oh, okay. You know what? Now that you said that, Sheila, it makes me think about something. When I think about some of the greatest relationships that I've seen in people together, people really have to open themselves up and put themselves out there in a sense. And it's scary. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to say that I need people, but Sheila, when you were talking, I said, okay, I'm going to reframe it. I look forward to people. It is something that I benefit from, but I don't want it to feel like I'm dependent upon it. You know what I mean? In a sense. And so, yeah, I was just kind of thinking about that and just thinking about like some of the greatest relationships are people who really have just put themselves out there and opened up their heart, because they put it on the line, so to speak. So that's where I kind of struggle, because yes, I want to hold back and I don't want to feel needy, but at the same time, I want to give you the best that I got so that I could also receive that too, because I've seen that work very well. But at the same time, it's scary. Like when I think about somebody that I need, and then I automatically think about, okay, what if this person doesn't show up? Or what if they disappoint me? Or what if they hurt me? But I want to change that into thinking, well, what if they do show up? Or what if they do love me beyond my pain? Or what if they do connect with me on a higher level? So it's this weird like dance in between, like meeting someone and then kind of detaching.
Don't you think that might be cultural? Because in Black homes, we're taught certain ways, or some
Absolutely.
Black homes, right? About, not exposing yourself or showing who you're dressed proper. Like, see, I didn't have that. So I'm Black, but I didn't have that. So my mother was very liberal. So I noticed like a lot of, when I get around female women who are African American, right? Or just Black, because I'm not African American, I'm Black, period. But I like to let people identify how they want. I noticed that if I come off the way I do, really curd and just share and be open about my experience, because they're my past experience, doesn't mean who I am today. I can see the gaps, I see the eyeballs, and it's like, oh, we don't share like that. We don't do that. So then it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to be her friend, but yet they long to be able to express that, because they have some ideas and thoughts, but it's like, I'm not allowed. That's taboo. It's so taboo to really be authentic. And I know that's, like, you go outside, you must dress a certain way, you act a certain way, you don't say this, what goes on in the house stays in the house. So I think all those things help make it hard for people to have real, true communication, right? And to build true friendship, because you're always worrying about, oh, I want to share this, but what are they going to think? Or how are they going to see me? So let me just sit back and see how they're going to do and what they do, and then I'll decide if I'll share, right? Or I'll become more open with my real true self. And I think that's why some people don't have friendships, because of the things that was placed on us as kids growing up, or some of us.
So true. Absolutely, 100%. I totally agree with you, Sheila. I'm thinking about how I was raised. Authenticity has been a struggle for me my entire life, because I've never really seen people be themselves, so to speak. And if you're not truly yourself, you can't attract to you a match to that. You're just attracting somebody else who ain't being themselves neither. Now, y'all don't really have no authentic relationships going on. You don't know them and they don't know you. And it's scary, because everybody's trying to protect a part of them so that they're not judged. But that also closes us off from connecting to a person on a real level, on a deep level. It's not really a friendship or a relationship. And it's a scary place to step into. But we have to be able to take that risk now, because if not, we're all wearing a mask
Mhm.
in a sense.
Just like
Yeah, I agree. I don't wear no mask though. Everybody know me. I don't wear a
Sheila don't
mask.
wear, no,
Sheree
Sheila
know
don't
me.
wear no mask.
Sheree-
And I have to
I know Sheree got to know me on the trip, and I know I threw her off, but it's okay.
and I just said that's Sheila. That's
I
Sheila.
was like, whatever.
And you
Yeah,
know what?
whatever.
That's why I love Sheila, because Sheila is 100%
Yep.
Sheila. She don't make
Yep.
no excuses. She is what she is. And I love the fact that well, Stacy and I, we've only known each other maybe about a year now, right? But like I said, I've got longevity with these other
Yeah.
ladies, and I've always just been my authentic self, whatever it is, telling you the truth about everything. And you know,
Yeah.
I think of Cheryl now, and I'm going to do my best not to cry, but I think of Cheryl, who was my longest friend, the one that just passed away. We was mad authentic with each other, again, coming from being in high school together. So we knew each other's dirt, and yeah, we take stuff to
Yeah.
the grave, you know.
Right.
And do you really still find those friendships now? You know, it's
Mm.
and if when you lose those friendships, and that's gonna be another topic at another time. But I like the fact, yes, being my authentic self. I don't know how else to be. I don't know how to be fake
Yeah.
phony, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing either. I'm gonna put, like one of you ladies said, I think this is you, Stacy. I'm gonna put myself out there. This is Elisa. She's cuckoo. She's crazy. She's this, that, whatever. You know, she laughs at her own jokes, or she'll cry at a drop of it, or she gets really mad. You know, and she talks really fast. But that's me, and I'm thankful for the friends that stayed by me and stick with me, and still love me, because that's who I am. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.